Haley Jade just opened up about what it's like being Eminem's daughter. She shared some crazy stories from her childhood on her podcast, and you'll never believe what she said about her dad. Recently, Haley announced a new podcast called Just a Little Shady with her best friend, Brittany Edney. In their very first podcast episode, Haley and Brittany talked about Haley's childhood, and Haley revealed what her teenage years were like. Everyone's been super curious about this for ages now, especially since Haley was raised by parents that were always dealing with a lot of problems. A lot of people thought that she had a high chance of ending up like Eminem or Kim. Both Eminem and Kim have a history of being dependent on pills, alcohol, and other substances. Eminem has been open about his problems with pills continuously throughout his career. In a 2009 interview, he revealed that the situation had gotten so bad that he was taking around 20 capsules each day just to function properly. If he didn't take enough, he would apparently lose his productivity and drive to create, perform, and produce music. And he would also start showing signs of withdrawal. He revealed that there was a point where he even lost count of how many he was taking or even what kind of pills they were. Eminem was admitted to rehab for the first time in 2005 when Haley was around 10 years old. This was after he almost lost his life after taking a mysterious blue pill that a friend of his gave him. Eminem then added that even if he'd been warned earlier about the mysterious blue pill, he was doing so badly back then that he might have had taken it anyway. Interestingly enough, by witnessing her father's battle with all these substances, Haley grew to be afraid of them rather than wanting to try them. Apart from that, she was also terrified of going to parties because she knew that there would be people taking similar substances and drinking alcohol. When she talked about this on her podcast, she said that she skipped most of the parties during her high school just because she feared becoming an addict like her dad. But this wasn't the only thing stopping her from heading down the wrong path. Eminem apparently also had some strict rules to prevent her from trying these substances. Kim was no different either. In fact, she was apparently even worse. She also had a huge problem with alcohol, so Haley basically grew up seeing the effects of both types of addictions, which scared her a lot when it came to trying these things herself. She recalled that during her high school years, it felt like everyone was trying to find different ways of getting high except for her. There were even times when she became defensive when someone would suggest she try it. She remembers one occasion when one of her friends was drinking right in front of her. Although this was completely normal to their friend, Haley was shocked and even asked her friend why she was consuming alcohol. Haley did mention that part of that shock came because of her father. Apparently, if she was caught with a person drinking near her, she would usually be grounded. So you can see why she might have freaked out. Still, it's not like Haley has never tried alcohol in her life. There were occasions that she had drunk and has even publicly shown up a little drunk as well. But she apparently never lets it get out of hand and always makes sure that she's not going to become addicted to it. Her best friend Brittany also confirmed that Haley was living on the straight and narrow during her teenage years. They also talked about all the childhood memories that they shared together. Haley recalled when she first asked Brittany if she wanted to come with her to her dad's tour bus, but at this time Brittany was too young to understand what her tour bus was, and Haley had to explain it to her. When Brittany discovered how cool the idea of going on a tour bus was, she quickly agreed that the two of them hopped on along with Eminem. But while Haley's father was performing on stage, she and Brittany had other plans in mind. They recalled going to Disney World in Florida. Haley then went on to explain that her father was also working or doing something, so this was the only way that she could actually see him from time to time. And apart from that, she also got to have a lot of fun in the process. Since Eminem wanted to repay Haley for not having enough time to spend with her, he would order her and Brittany a limo and send them to Disney World frequently. Haley says that her favorite thing to do back then was play Princess Tea Party with Brittany while they were all dressed up in adorable Disney princess outfits. Brittany called the experience cute, while Haley said that she now values those moments more than she ever has before. She says that they were too young back then and didn't get to appreciate the moment as much as they do now. Thinking back on it, Haley believes that those experiences she had as a child were amazing. Apart from her childhood, she also spoke about constantly being questioned about her dad. She explained that she understood that it was normal to get so much attention about Eminem since he's one of the most influential rappers in the world. However, she did express that there were times when all this questioning and curiosity about her dad got into her head, but she tries hard not to let that bother bother her anymore, and she has apparently just accepted it now. There are apparently even times when she gets awkward or unusual questions about him, and sometimes she doesn't even know how to answer them. And when there are times when she feels uncomfortable or doesn't feel like giving out such private information, she simply just doesn't respond to the questions. She mostly had a problem with the constant questioning when she was in her late teens, as she wouldn't understand why people cared so much about her dad. At one point, she even expressed that it felt like she was living a pretty normal life like any girl her age, except for all those weird questions, I guess. Hailey's podcast is relatively new, and she is still in the process of releasing the first couple of episodes. Hopefully, we'll get more insight into her life as the daughter of one of the most famous rappers of all time. Either way, things seem to be going great with her and Britney's new podcast right now. But in addition to her new podcast, Hailey is also in the process of launching a new company that will be set up under her name. She recently filed a trademark for her podcast name under Hailey Jade LLC. In this process, she also filed for the right to sell merchandise such as hats, clothes, t-shirts, and jackets. However, she apparently had a different business in mind before turning it into a clothing store. She originally wanted to open a company that sold non-medicated skincare preparations, but she seemingly changed her mind in the process. She most likely wanted to go for skincare because she has a lot of experience in the beauty and fashion industry, but someone must have pointed out to her that this might not sell to an audience where the majority of people were Eminem fans. So Hailey then realized that clothing was probably going to be more profitable than selling skincare. Apart from her new podcast and clothing business, she also remains an influencer on Instagram and is highly active on the platform. And I can't wait to listen to more episodes of the podcast and to see what else she comes up with. But what do you guys think? Did you listen to the episode? And what did you make of the things Hailey said about her childhood? Let me know in the comments down below.